I'm trying to learn American accent. I have not fully mastered it, but I do it on regular basis. So that's I don't really like Indian accent. Most of the people I feel like they want to sound either like British or American, but when it comes to in front of camera, they admit that what's wrong with Indian accent.
But I do not agree with this fact because I have seen or met people, most of the people they say that they like Indian accent, be it on camera or off camera, because that communication comes only when you be able to speak it effortlessly. Similarly, the person who's listening to you, he doesn't have to put some extra effort to understand that communication. That is the best communication. But I didn't think in that way. I thought that for native speakers it's easy to understand us because we are pronouncing the words very clearly, not rushing through the words. Because I know pronunciation is must. Without pronunciation you cannot think of conveying your message very clearly to the other person. That's
Definitely.
important. Yes, obviously pronunciation makes communication effective. I would like to ask you one pronunciation of one word, that is instead. Am I pronouncing it correct?
I call it instead of that.
Yeah, I also call. Okay, okay, let's. Okay, so how are you doing?
I'm doing, I guess I have a pulse, so I must be okay. So yeah, what about you?
Yeah, I've been doing good. I'm at my mother's place in Delhi right now. So, like, I'm enjoying, you can say that.
And is it scorching outside as you are in Delhi?
But not that, because Delhi is actually covered with the high buildings, high rise buildings are here. So, we don't get the enough sunlight also. That's why you can see my picture clarity that how it looked like.
Mhm.
But when I was in Gurgaon, there I used to get enough sunlight there. So it was, I think, in that point of view, I feel that Gurgaon is much better than Delhi because Delhi is fully crowded now.
Yeah, it's jam-packed. All right, nice, nice. In Gujarat, like it's sweltering outside. So, if you want to go, like if I wish to go, I try to cover my entire body, like mask and caps and sleeves and all that. Then I would be able to step out. It's burning, literally burning. I'm not exaggerating.
Okay, like in that terms, I think it's great till now because like few days ago there's this storm or wind, heavy wind. So it's like cool weather outside. I'm sitting here without turning my fan on, so you can imagine that
Oh,
it's terrible.
got it. Nice, great.
Yeah. So
And
how your classes are going on?
classes are pretty great. Like I just finished it 1 hour ago, and then I had spare time, so I thought let's do something. So I was researching about English and all. So yeah, that was that. Well,
Okay, so you also research about English?
yeah, I tend to do it on regular basis. I have to stay ahead of the curve, and nowadays a lot of people are expecting me to, deliver different sort of contents. So, I have a lot of. I feel like I should be imparting the knowledge that's gonna make my students more efficient.
Let me ask you an interesting question on this. Like,
Sure.
learning English methods can be different for different people. For example, for a beginner, the process of learning or the roadmap can be different. But the person like you who's already fluent and good, how you improve your knowledge? What are the things you are doing these days to improve your knowledge? Like you're already
Uh,
good.
yeah, because in that case, I would say that when a person is beginner, he would go with Indian speakers, Indian TED talks, something like that, or cartoons. But when you reach at a level where you are advanced learner, I usually spend my time watching films, trying to connect with people who are better at English or better than me at least. And usually I try to reach out to advanced speakers. So that's what I do. Yesterday, I got the chance to met a person, and he was from Poland. So I try to meet different people with different accent. So that's my method.
So do you also post videos on your YouTube channel with the people outside, like native speakers also?
Yeah, I do. Recently, I barely got the chance to meet native speakers. However, I do meet people from different parts of the world, like Russian, Ukrainians, Polish people. So now today, I guess I will be uploading that video with the Polish person that I met. So yeah, that's gonna be there.
Okay, one more question I would like to ask you, that how
Yeah.
accent is important. Do you feel that if we, being an Indian person, I should focus on accent, or is it okay that to speak in my own natural accent? What do you
Look,
think?
when it comes to accent, like a lot of people try to fake it, but you cannot fake it. If you have the knowledge of accent, you can speak in that way. So I am like on a, I'm trying to learn American accent. I have not fully mastered it, but I do it on regular basis. So that's also a part of my studying. And for me, it's really important. I'm not sure about other people. People, they might get offended sometimes, like what's wrong with Indian accent and all. But personally, I don't like Indian accent, and I make no bones about it. I like the people like from the British or from the USA. So yeah, I call a spade a spade. I don't really like Indian accent. So that was my goal a few months ago, to get rid of my Indian accent.
Okay, that's amazing. Okay, so it's you, it's a personal choice basically, whether you
Yeah.
like particular accent or not. But what I have noticed, I would like to share here. I have seen most of the Indian people, they speak good English. The people who are good at speaking, they automatically try to, as you have said, that the people fake accent. So because you cannot develop an accent just within a like in a year or two. It is
Mm,
something all about practice. So I have noticed that the people who are since their beginning, they are in the environment of different accent. They are able to produce more naturally rather than the people who have just learned it within a 2 or 3 years. So I have seen people even in this YouTube community. There are people who are trying to create accent, but it really doesn't like. I don't know why. Maybe it's my personal opinion, but I have seen people that they're trying to speak with an accent. They feel that they're speaking so nice, but it's not like that, because when you fake an accent, you look that you're not natural. You are just doing something
true.
fake, and people
That's
actually
true.
don't like that. So, what is the benefit, and how can we learn accent just within a 1 or 2 or 3 years? You might have been learning it from couple of years or maybe few
Yeah.
years. You can see little bit you are moving towards that, but not exactly. You are sounding like an American or a
Mm,
British. You are
mm,
speaking very nice. So, what
yeah.
is your thinking about those people?
Look, as I got a lot of exposure with people from different accents, so I try to inculcate those things. Like I observe people and then I try to listen to the words, how they pronounce the sounds and all. And I'm also learning phonetics. So, like you said, I'm not fully mastered the thing. I'm in the process of it. And it's going to take a hell of a time, because unless and until if we go over there for like 5 to 6 years, then you would be able to speak without making any efforts. It's going to be effortless. But to live in India and to learn an accent, it takes, it's a Herculean task. So presently, I'm focusing on, I try to focus on idioms, vocabulary, and accent. These are the three things that I constantly try to work on. And in terms of accent, I feel like deep down, everybody wants to acquire an accent. I'm not sure, but most of the people, I feel like they want to sound either like British or American. But when it comes to in front of camera, they admit that what's wrong with Indian accent.
But I do not agree with this fact, because I have seen or met people. Most of the people, they say that they like Indian accent, be it on camera or off camera. Because personally, this is what my opinion is. Maybe obviously I'm not going to match it with you, but I feel that when somebody speaks in Indian accent, it is way clear to understand. But being being an American, if you are speaking, it is very difficult for the people to understand you at the same time, especially if I talk about India. For example, even if you will compare, most of the Indian people, they would like to watch content, English content, which is created by Indian people, rather than
Mm,
the American, or TEDx comes later. First comes the basic shows, the basic Indian stories, or YouTubers who are creating videos. So this is what my opinion is, and personally I feel that it's very clear to understand. And even sometimes
definitely.
I also difficult to understand such kind of accents when I see them. Not that difficult, but yeah, as you have said, that communication comes only when you be able to speak it effortlessly. Similarly, the person who's listening to you, he doesn't have to put some extra effort to understand that communication. That is the best communication. The person who's speaking effortlessly, and the other person is also understanding the same effortlessly. That's what
Mm,
I.
yeah. That's right. Like it varies from individual to individual. If a person wants to do that, it's a matter of choice. They can go with it or not. And what I personally have observed when I talk with native speakers, when I was, using my typical Indian accent, when I didn't had the knowledge of accent at that time, even for them also, they had a tough time understanding what I'm trying to convey to them. Like it was, both situation. I was not able to understand what they were saying, and when I used to speak, they were having a tough time because our accent is a little bit thick. So because of that reason, they find it a little bit challenging to understand.
Okay, but I didn't think in that way. I thought that for native speakers, it's easy to understand us because we are pronouncing the words very clearly, not, rushing through the words. Because I remember when I've started my YouTube channel in the very beginning, I used to communicate with the people like from Cambly. You might aware about this application. So
Hmm.
all the native speakers are there. So whenever I connect with them, they appreciate my accent all the time. They say that, ma'am, your accent is very nice. I said that it's proper Indian accent. There's nothing like British or American like that. So they say no, but it's very easy to understand. So I was thinking in that way.
But I would like to say, Karishmaji, in your case, you have the knowledge of pronunciations. Most of the
Yeah.
Indian speakers they don't pronounce the right words. So when we tend to do that, the listeners, the native speakers, they are not able to perceive the idea.
No, pronunciation is must. Without pronunciation, you cannot think of conveying your message very clearly to the other person. That's
Definitely.
important. We
Yeah.
cannot.
So like I said, people don't have the knowledge of pronunciation also. Like a lot of people, the word itself, it's not like we know that it's pronunciations, but for the people who don't know it, they're gonna like talk, what do we call it? Pronunciation. So that thing
Pronounce.
can be, yeah, challenging for the native speakers.
As you have mentioned the word pronunciation, yesterday I remember only I was having session with somebody and my child came to me and he was asking me, Mama, tell me how to pronounce this word, like pronunciation. He was written somewhere and asking me. I said pronunciation. Oh, you know it. I thought you didn't know. I said, oh
Yeah.
my God. Like he's confirming me whether I know how to pronounce this word. And
Mhm.
even yesterday, I also remember one thing. I was having conversation with someone. He was good at English, but just because of pronunciation, I had to struggle a lot to understand him. Seriously, I need to put some efforts inside, and I was listening him very carefully, like what he's saying. So, to be honest, if you're not pronouncing words correctly, it's make the other person very uncomfortable to understand that language. And it happened with me yesterday only. Though he's good with his English, but he's pronouncing words in such a way, I don't know why I was not able to understand them.
Like what you mean is his pronunciation was terrible, right? That's why you are not able to understand.
It is,
Mm.
it is.
So
His
that's what I'm saying.
pronunciation sometimes, even a male voice, it's already very hard. And in that case, if you're not pronouncing words correctly, it is really difficult to make the other person understand. Even there's a difference between the female and male voice. So being a female, even if I'm pronouncing few words incorrectly, other person will able to understand. But if I had the harsh voice, like hard voice being a man, it is difficult. So in that case, I think your pronunciation should be really good.
Definitely, that's what I'm saying. Like people who don't want to acquire an accent, that's all right. Nothing is wrong with it. But make sure that you acquire the right knowledge of the pronunciation. Then you would be able to sound effectively. And you would be able to, the other person, like specifically the native speakers, they won't have a tough time listening to you.
Yes, 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 yes. And yes, obviously pronunciation makes communication effective. I would like to ask you one pronunciation of one word that is instead. Am I pronouncing it correct?
Even I didn't give that much of, like in this case, instead,
Instead or instead?
I call it instead of that.
Yeah, I also call the same instead, but I have getting same comment for long period of time, and he's saying that I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. I think 2 or 3 days ago, I received the comment. He said, I'm telling you fourth time that you are pronouncing instead wrong. I have checked it and it's instead. I don't know why
Uh,
am I not able to pronounce it. Are you checking it?
yeah, I'm checking it right now.
Yeah, I check
Yeah,
it.
it's instead. But sometimes in American pronunciation, what they call it, rather than saying, the whole ad, although Google is saying ad thing, but the native speakers that tend to, they are lazy when it comes to pronunciation. So they sometimes call it instead. Instead, let's do it. They don't call it
Listen,
instead.
okay. So it's wrong, right?
It's wrong and it's right also. Sometimes American speakers they deliberately make it wrong, but that sounds like they tend to do it because that's how they try to speak in different way.
So
So
Google is
it's wrong.
pronouncing it
As
instead.
per Google, yeah, wrong.
Instead. So even if I try hard, it automatically flows instead. Even if I'm pronouncing it instead, it seems like that I'm pronouncing it. And so I'm receiving that regular comment. So that's why I asked you. I think there are many pronunciation like this that people like us, not, I'm not that very well in pronunciation, but as I can see that you are really good. But still there are few words we may pronounce wrong because we really do not know the actual pronunciation, and we cannot go every time to Google to check the pronunciation, to be honest. Sometimes we catch it from other person. For example, if I'm listening to somebody and if he's saying in the same way, so I feel that okay, he's saying it means it's correct, so we just pick up those things, knowingly or unknowingly. So sometimes it's not about that you don't know, but sometimes you never know like what can be the pronunciation of a particular word. So
Yeah.
this
In terms of English, it's like never ending process unless and until you go in the like USA or UK and stay over there. Like I said, you have to always try to learn things, try to observe. And even at this stage, I try to observe a lot of things. I watch a lot of TED Talk videos on weekends, and that's why
okay.
I watch English films. Earlier, when I started my journey, at that time I was watching for the sake of learning, but then I got habituated with it, and now try to hit two birds with a stone. I learn English as well, and I get entertainment also.
That's great. And you know what? I feel that the person who are learning English, they should must understand the basic words, like the day-to-day words, which we are
Hmm.
like which is necessary to communicate. And that's what I'm doing these days. I'm trying to collect like adequate knowledge in order to improve my English or the basic things first. And also, as you have last time, also you suggested me to watch TED Talks. I've started watching a few episodes, but again, it's not my cup of tea. I find it difficult now because I have to put my 100% attention there. And what I used to do, like while doing household chores, I'm trying to understand things. So it's not working in that way. If you're
Yeah,
listening, you have to actively listen. That's why
definitely,
I think I have heard also that active listening is important if you want to improve your English. So
definitely.
what do you want to say for the beginners? How much listening is important? Like for a beginner person, listening or speaking both are important, or only listening is sufficient for them as a beginner?
Like I often say this, English is amalgamation of things. So even if you are beginner, intermediate, or advanced learner, you can try to incorporate all the things. You can do listening, writing. It depends upon your like how much craving you have for it. If you have the burning desire, you can do it in like 6 or 7 months. If you are taking it easy, it's gonna take more time than that. So, the point I'm trying to make is try to give as much time as possible, be it listening, speaking, anything, but do all the things.
Okay, everything is equally important because I did not pay any attention to writing and reading earlier, but now I try to inculcate those habits also because I understand now that it's important because without reading or without writing, you cannot consume so much words that will not
Hmm,
store in your subconscious mind. Until you mug up with those words while writing or reading, they don't come naturally. So this is I
definitely.
understand now. So I tell my viewers that please, if you're not reading or writing, you should start doing it. Even if you're getting just 10 minutes, 5 minutes, you should do it. That will 100% help you. And I can see my improvements while earlier when I don't read and now I'm reading. So I can see the difference of words. They naturally come to me because while speaking, I understand, okay, I have spoke that word here and I've read that word here. So it's very important. One last question. What I was asking you, I forgot. There was this question in my mind that I need to ask you. Okay. If you have any question, you can ask me now.
How's your YouTube journey going on? How many people have you met since we last met, and how's it going?
No, I have met only two people till now. One is Priyanka and the other one is Yashoda, Dehati madam. Only two
Okay.
people I and Dehati madam, she came to my home because she is from Prayagraj, I think. So she came here for an interview in Gurgaon because she has to deal with the podcast and all. So that's why she met me. And for Priyanka, she lives just next to my house. You can
I
understand
know.
like 5 or 10 minutes of difference is there. So we met.
Hmm.
Apart from that, I would love to connect or meet with different YouTubers. But the problem is that every person is living in different corners of the city or maybe the country. So it's not possible to meet with everyone. I would like to meet many YouTubers. I don't want to take their name, but still not having chance. So you
All
are
right.
from Gujarat, right?
Yeah, I'm born and raised in Gujarat.
So when will you come in Delhi or maybe Gurgaon? We can meet whenever next time you visit. You can tell
And
me.
yeah, same thing applies for you. Whenever you pay a visit to Gujarat, you and Priyanka ji both can come to my place, and we can have a live podcast together.
Yeah, that would be something amazing. Even I was thinking to do something like that, but obviously situations are not in a favor. We didn't find a proper place to do that because for that reason you need a quite good place where you can shoot and have conversation. So
Yeah.
that will be something new, I think, if we'll do
Hmm,
that.
definitely. All right, Karishma ji, I guess it's been 20
Yeah,
minutes, 22 minutes. Let's call it a day.
yeah, sure, sure. Whenever you have free time, just let me know. I'm ready to have conversation with you because whenever I connect, I learn something new. So thank you so much for that and being here on my channel again.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye.